Hello everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode. I'm somewhere in Kitisuru, which is one of the leafy suburbs in Nairobi, Kenya. And today I have a very simple mission. I want to explore two of the most requested towns in the neighborhood. We'll be hitting the first one in about a minute, a very historic town, which is on the border between Nairobi and Kiambu County, but it is mostly on Kiambu side. And later we'll visit Gachie, which is one of the most controversial hoods in the country. You'll see why. Actually, it was heavily requested last week. I don't know the reason, but I'm eager to explore it too. And it is at this point where you have to make a very crucial decision. You decide to go left and go Westlands Way, or turn right and go to Mwimuto, which is our first town of the day, and we'll be getting there in less than a minute. But before we get there, let me take this opportunity to welcome you to our YouTube channel, Village to Town TV, a channel that is dedicated to continue showcasing beautiful villages, towns, and cities across the continent of Africa. We have committed ourselves to visit and document all the small towns and villages across the continent, but we are starting with the 290 constituencies in Kenya. We have covered a few in Kiambu and Nairobi counties, and we are almost done with Kabete Constituency. And by next week, we'll be moving to a new one, which is quite exciting. And so if you have not yet subscribed, please consider doing so that we can explore this beautiful country together. Now back to the video. And we are already in Mwimuto Township. And I'm looking for a way to get to the town's heart so that we can explore the neighborhood and see what's up. I want to see how business is faring here. I will also be giving you statistics about the area in a few. So let's have some fun. Well, my first impression about the town is that it is not as small as I thought. It's a bit busy. You can see some really nice business premises on the left. But that part of the modern town, I want to first hit the old one. An old shopping center, probably established in the 60s and 70s. And as you explore it, I'm sure you'll help me to understand whether this is a town or a shopping center. It's a bit confusing, as these places started as small shopping centers, but the population have increased significantly in recent years. And I hope this section of the road will take me to the town center. In fact, I can see some hope right in front. Probably we took a longer route, but this is still part of the town. Although it looks kind of chaotic, especially on the left. But they are just small informal businesses, just common people trying to make a living. And remember, this is still a developing country. And so it is nice to lower your expectations, especially if you're watching from outside the country. Most people in urban centers do all kinds of jobs just to make a living. In fact, you can see all these makeshift structures on my left. And you can find all types of businesses when you go there. Someone is selling shoes, another one is selling clothes, fish, all manners of trade, just name it. And remember, Kitisuru Estate is only a few meters from here. Actually, the two neighborhoods are only separated by a fence, which is a straight border between Nairobi City and Kiambu County. And by the look of things, this town is on the verge of growing. Actually, there's a construction boom. You can see this building on my left. It's quite tall, and its completion might change the face of this neighborhood. And the old shopping center is right here. You can see the shops on my right, and those right in front. They are quite old. And I can see the internal roads are tarmacked. To be honest, I did not expect that. The roads have really given these small towns a sense of modernity, which is not common in most small towns across the continent. So kudos to the leaders. A quick check on the internet. I learned that this road was tarmacked sometime in late 2022. And so it is not that old. You can see the building on the left are quite old. Although it is a story building, it is clear it has seen better days. In fact, I have spotted some very old buildings on the other side of the town. And most of them are more than 50 years old. In fact, I just want to turn around so that I can explore that side of the town. But in the meantime, let me just give you a few numbers about the area. And the small town has a total population of 22,913 people. 11,357 are men, while 11,554 are women. Well, there is nothing to worry about there. The two genders are almost equal, although there is a small difference of about 200 people in favor of women, but that's a normal distribution. In terms of population density, there are 4,455 people per square kilometer, meaning the place is densely populated. Remember, 1 square kilometer is equal to 250 acres. You can do your quick maths, and the entire neighborhood covers a total area of 5.1 square kilometers. That is according to the Kenyan Bureau of Statistics. And one thing that has really caught my attention is that this neighborhood is more densely populated than Wangige Town. Remember, Wangige is the biggest town in the constituency. Actually, it serves as the capital of Kabete Constituency. We did visit it last week. You can go and check the video later. It is on this channel. And actually, it had a population density of 4,020 people per square kilometer, which is a bit less than Mwimuto. If you have been following me for some time now, or watching my other videos, you can easily tell that this town is doing quite well, especially in terms of business. It looks quite busy, which is not always the case for other towns. And remember, it is on a Friday around 2:30 p.m. in the month of May 2024. It's a beautiful day. The sun is out, and I want to join the main road. In fact, I want to see whether the town has grown along the road, which is a common phenomenon in most small towns across the country. And this road goes all the way to Wangige Town, which is about 3 kilometers ahead, while Nairobi City is only less than 10 kilometers behind me. And so we are not far from the city. And I'm sure you are eager to know the land prices in the area and the rent prices. Just hold your horses. I'll be giving you that in a few. But first, let's check the celebrity segment, the legends that come from this area. And topping the list is one Mike Jenga, a top polished journalist in the country. He is a news anchor in Citizen TV and Inoro. He always mentions his neighborhood. It seems like he is quite proud of it. And it makes a lot of sense because I'm loving it too. It looks very nice. In fact, the village ambience is something else. It is not common to see such places next to big cities. And remember, Nairobi is the biggest city in East and Central Africa with a population of more than 5 million people. And so you would expect to see all types of urbanization here, including slums. But this is not the case. And to get a piece of land along the tarmac, measuring 50 by 100, that's an eighth of an acre, you'll need not less than 8 million Kenya shillings, which is about 70,000 US dollars. But you can also get yourself some nice deals, especially if you decide to go deeper into the village. And as we always say, your negotiation skills. Remember, most people here are Kikuyus. They are very good at it. It's part of their culture. They just love negotiations. But you can also opt to rent. Houses are quite affordable, especially when you compare to other parts of the city. And to get a 2-bedroom apartment, you will need between 15,000 and 25,000 Kenya shillings, which is a range between 120 and 220 US dollars, depending on the current exchange rates. And if you need a good studio apartment or a bed sitter in the area, you will need about 8,000 Kenya shillings per month, depending on its location and the social amenities provided. But remember, this is also a village, and so you can get some really nice deals, especially on semi-permanent houses or mabati buildings, which is very nice for starters. And this road goes all the way to Gathika village. I did it some times back, and so you can go and check the video later, but I'm not going beyond this point. And so let's meet in our next town in just a second. Well, everyone, welcome back. I'm in Gachie area, which is one of the most popular neighborhoods in the country. It's popular for various reasons. We'll explore them in a few. It's about 6:20 p.m. and therefore it might get dark anytime soon. So let's do this. And one thing you need to know is that Gachie has two major towns and we want to cover both. And this is the first one, and it goes by the name Gishagi, but it is officially called Kihara Market. And Gishagi is a Kikuyu word meaning village. And history goes that the colonial village for Gachie people was around here. In fact, for those who knows the place, I'm told that it was around the hospital area. And it is good to know that when the colonial government came, they hoarded the locals into villages so that they can take their land. And that's where the small town got the name Gishagi from. There is a small traffic jam, but that is because the bus in front is a public transport vehicle and it is just taking passengers in the middle of the road. I don't know why. Maybe it's part of the culture, or maybe the town does not have a dedicated bus terminus. Well, that's local politics. And it is also good to know that the entire area is called Kihara. Remember I told you that the small town is called Kihara Market. Kihara is also the name for the ward and also for the division. And I'm told that Kihara was the name for the patriarch, the father of the area. In fact, the entire neighborhood is settled by a single clan. And I'm told that the guy was among the first few Kikuyus to migrate from Murang'a and settle in Kiambu County in the 18th century. And the guy had 5 wives and 12 sons, and one of them was called Gachie, which is also the name given to the area. Well, the family has since multiplied, making it one of the biggest known sub-clans in Kikuyu land. And I just had a moment a few minutes ago with an old-timer from here who told me that at some point members of the clan intermarried as they increased. I don't know whether that is true or not. Well, I know this is one of the areas Village to Town TV has a lot of following based on the number of requests. And so if you know this story about the Kihara clan, you can tell us on the comment section below. And one of the major things I have noted about the locals, a few minutes I have spent with them, is that they are very proud people as far as their culture and history are concerned. The area has also had a negative publicity in the past, especially due to insecurity. And if you are an old-timer, you will know that one of the biggest gangsters in the country by the name Madheri came from this area. The kid was quite popular around 2007. He made himself a name out of thugging, but unfortunately he left a dent on his neighborhood name, which has refused to go forever. Currently the neighborhood is still popular for high crime rates, but I feel it's more of a bad reputation than the reality on the ground. In fact, I'm told that it is one of the nicest neighborhoods around Nairobi and has a potential of growing to a very vibrant neighborhood in future. Well, let me give you a few demographics before we hit our second town in a few. And Kihara has a population of 53,474 people. 27,181 are men, while 26,291 are women. Well, this is one of the neighborhoods with the highest population that I have ever visited. It's super crazy. There are about 18,000 households, and in terms of population density, there are 10,154 people per square kilometer, which is extremely high. And funny enough, the area is almost equal with the first town that we visited in the video, but the population for Gachie is almost triple. And it is good to know that the last time I was here, this road was quite pathetic. In fact, I did a video about it. It was my first video. And by then there was a small lake around this place in the middle of the road. And the road on the left goes to Denderu and Ruaka areas, while on the right, it goes straight to Nairobi City, which is only about 14 kilometers from here. And this part marked the starting point of our third town in the series, which is part of Gachie area, and it goes by the name River Rori, which is Kikuyu for River Road. And funny enough, it is the official Gachie town. And in recent years, the town has experienced a boom, both in terms of real estate and social amenities. In fact, the 2 gas stations in front, Total's Energy on the left and Shell's on the right, are not more than 2 years old. And so it is good to know that the town is on the rise. Let me give you a few numbers about this particular town. and it has a population of 19,787 people. 10,439 are men, while 9,357 are women. There are 7,500 households, while the population density is 13,660 people per square kilometer. So it seems like this is where it gets crazier. It's like this is the epicenter of the population. It is also good to note that unlike the first town we did, which went by the name Mwimuto, and it was in Kabete Constituency, Gachie is in Kiambaa Constituency, which is part of Kiambu County, and it has a population of 236,400 people, which is one of the highest in the country. Population density in the entire constituency, it's 2,595 people per square kilometer, while the annual population change is at 5%. In terms of the gender distribution, 51.1% of the people in Kiambaa sub-county are female, while 48.9% are male. Well, there are 15 intersex in the sub-county, and the numbers tend to be more crazier in terms of age distribution. For instance, out of the 236,000 people in Kiambaa sub-county, only 7,000 are aged 65 and above. That is only 3% of the population, a number that tends to shrink the higher you go. For instance, those aged 90 and above are only 346 people, while those aged between 80 and 89 are 1,152. Well, that tells you that you are more likely not to hit the old age in this area. That's statistics. And it is also good to know that this town got its name from Gachie, one of Kihara's sons. I think I had stated that earlier. And one of the fun facts that I want to give you is that, did you know that Gachie was one of the major reasons why the Mau Mau War erupted? Yes, a senior chief by the name of Ng'ombe wa Rohio was killed right in this town, and his death led to the declaration of a state of emergency by the then governor Sir Evelyn Baring in 1952, marking the beginning of the Mau Mau War. Well, that is Gachie for you. There's a lot we can talk about the place. I told you that it is a historic place. But let me leave at that, and thank you for watching this far. And if you have not yet subscribed, kindly consider doing so. Like the video so that it can be recommended to as many people as possible. And smash the notification bell so that every time you post, you'll be among the first few people to be notified. Also keep the conversation going on the comment section down below. Tell us what do you think about the area. Will you consider living in Gachie or in Mwimuto? And also if you live here or you know a thing or two about Gachie and Mwimuto, leave a fact on the comment section below. I also want to appreciate Team Village to Town TV, those who watch and like every video. You know yourself, whether living in Kenya or abroad, you all will go to heaven. Thank you.